would lead the MAGA anti-war faction here?
I mean, Tucker for president.
Tucker Carlson for president.
I think, I've always thought that he's interested. I know, I've spoken to him about this, that this is, that he has certainly never said no to this. And, we'll see. Tucker both Tucker and Steve Bannon detest Donald Trump. Detest. And I have sat with both of them for hours on end, listening to their contempt for this man. They have put up with him because he's led this movement which feeds them too. I'm not sure anyone else could lead this movement. But will they swallow this fundamental aspect of what they believe in, of what they have spoken about, of what they have, I think that to some degree dedicated themselves to. This is the thing that means something. Nothing else means anything. This means something.
So this could be a genuine catalyst for a split in the Republican Party?
It could be.
We know Marjorie Taylor Greene is against it too. Who are the other prominent Republicans that you think might be fired up by this? And of course, your point that you have consistently made is that everybody hates Donald Trump. So there's a sense in which people are waiting for a crack which they can begin to lean into and stop being afraid of him. And he becomes afraid of them. So who are the other people that are possible Republicans to split from him?
Well, I think the Republican leadership is solidly or quite solidly old-fashioned, an old-fashioned neocon bunch, and Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon have not only waged a campaign against war, but they've waged a campaign against the traditional Republican leadership. Mm-hmm. So, and I think the MAGA movement such as it is really separate from that leadership. Those, the complications in the Republican Party is that you have a Republican leadership who is and has been for many years out of touch with the Republican Party, and it has been saved only by the grace of Donald Trump. If Donald Trump, and this happened in the first administration too, if he starts to side with that part of the party, that traditional Republican Washington neocon-ish rhino, if you will, then I think all bets are off.
So, and where is J.D. Vance in all this, Michael?
Caught in the middle. He's the vice president, and he obviously knows he is tied to his future is now tied to Donald Trump, but he certainly comes out of that isolationist wing of the party.
He was on Meet the Press with Kristen Welker, talking about how this wasn't a war on Iran, it was a war on Iran's nuclear facilities, which felt like a sort of strange avoidance of actually what was going on. He's known to be an isolationist.
Most of the tech loyalty to Donald Trump is also quite an isolationist group against the war in Ukraine. So I think it is. The White House is now clearly trying to reach out, make amends, explain this away, rationalize it to that part of the party. And depending upon events, maybe they can go some way to that. Maybe if the Iranians come to the table, maybe everybody goes okay. But if it goes in the other way, protracted war, regime change, and chaos, yeah, Donald Trump is going to pay for that. I think Vance is. I think there are two things that go on at the same time in Vance. He is someone, I think, who has thought a great deal about a whole range of positions, including the isolationist position, including no war, including, and I mean, Vance is very much a Tucker person, promoted by Tucker. He is in his job in part because of Tucker, and I think he's squarely, in any intellectual sense, on that side of the philosophic divide. On the other hand, he's an incredible, craven opportunist. So he will do whatever he has to do to get ahead, to stay in Trump's good graces. And the Trump people know this, basically. I remember at one point in the campaign when Trump was waffling over abortion, and then Trump decided that he was pro-choice, and Vance, who is very, very much he's a Catholic convert, very much a pro-life. He was sent out, and he said, "Well, what am I going to say?" They said, "We don't care what you say. Just say we're pro-choice." There's Vance. He's on one side, he's wringing his hands. On the other side, he's doing his job.
Okay, so Tulsi Gabbard is toast, Tucker Carlson for president, and we're going to have to wait and see which way the Iranians go and whether or not the MAGA isolationist wing become more volatile within the party.
And that's just tomorrow.
And we've forgotten all about Elon Musk. We've forgotten all about the National Guard. We've forgotten all about the miserable parade. The military has excelled, it appears. What do we think?
Now, the interesting thing, we'll have to see what will happen to make us all forget about Iran.
What do we think about Pete Hegseth's performance? I was struck by how many times he thanked Donald Trump, he congratulated Donald Trump, he said what an honor it was to work alongside Donald Trump. What do we think American boy doll is doing?
To the extent it matters, I think most people recognize that Pete Hegseth is a moron. I don't think that's a difficult leap for anyone. Does it matter, though? Mostly it doesn't, because mostly I think everybody also recognizes that it doesn't matter who is around Donald Trump. I mean, everybody is a little dog, pulling at his pants.
Tugging at his hem, I hope. You mean tugging at his hem, not pulling his... Yeah, not trying to pull his pants down, please. No. All right. Well, look, Michael, very good to talk to you. We're talking again on Wednesday. And as you say, he broke the one thing that everybody thought he would be consistent on, which was no war.
And the thing to focus on is that he doesn't know what he is doing from moment to moment. That this indecision, the indecision is real, and the effort to please everybody. So again, the strong man just wants to be loved.
All right. Well, on that note, Michael, very good to see you. This podcast was produced by Devon Rogerino and Anna von Ursen, and it was edited by Devon too.